Welcome to the Metalheads podcast with the heavy metal strength coach and Shrubs 666. Hi guys, I am the heavy metal strength coach, and today we are introducing a new little podcast. We don't even know what name it is yet, but we're going to spend a few minutes just talking about metal, the metal that we've been listening to, and I will be joined by my friend, my client, and my brother in metal, Shrubs. Hello, Shrubs.
Good morning.
So the reason that I wanted to get Shrubs on and involved in this is he has a massive knowledge of metal, seems to know someone in every single metal band, is engrossed in the whole metal scene. And anytime that I need some more metal to listen to or for my albums to check out list to grow exponentially to the point where I'll never be able to listen to it all, he's the man that gets those names and gets those bands on that list. So
Sounds about right.
Yeah, man.
Sounds like my list is just as bad about not being able to get around listening to it either.
So what have you been listening to this week?
Well, probably about 4 or 5 albums, but 3 in particular have stood out for me. They didn't all come out. They've all come out in the last month, so since the 1st of May. But in particular, Make Them Die Slowly.
Yes.
Sojourner and Alkymist are 3 that have properly stood out for me in the last week, that they've been on constant cycle. But then there's also been Winterfylleth's new album and a new album from a band called Burial in the UK. So, but yeah, it's been through all this COVID stuff. There was obviously a lot of albums due to be released, and some of them have now taken a step back because then they're not going to get produced in time.
Yeah.
So yeah, some of the listing's been a bit slack just lately, but there's still 1 or 2 good ones coming out. So that have always been planned to come out. So
yeah, let's go into the Let Them Die Slowly.
Make Them Die Slowly.
You Make Them Die Slowly. Sorry, I've just listened to that this morning while I was cooking breakfast, and I described it as a mashup between an Alnacrath, some Meshuggah, and I can't remember the other band that I said. Oh yeah, the Infernal Sea. So I know that you've done a little bit of research into this band to find out why they sound like they do. So what did that turn out?
Yeah. Well, the biggest reason they sound like Anil Nathrak is because of Mick Kenny.
Yeah.
Mick Kenny being the main songwriter in Anil Nathrak. Hence the reason why you get this this sounding so much like Anil Nathrak. So basically, fans of Anil Nathrak who are waiting for the new album to come out, get on this one, because this one will certainly fill that void that you're missing from Anil Nathrak.
Yeah.
And while I was looking it up, they wanted to release the album. The album's called Ferox, by the way, and they wanted to release it as Cannibal Ferox because it was basically Mick Kenny's love of horror films and stuff like that. So they wanted to name it after that, but for some unknown reason they couldn't. So it's been released just as Ferox. But also the vocals on it have been done by the vocalist in Fuckpig as well. So that's why you've got that still that good grindcore sound to it. So yeah, and every song is basically about a horror film of one form or another. In particular, there was one song of Jackal and Demon Born is basically The Omen, and it has that whole sound. It has that choral intro to it, and everything. It's just immense, absolutely immense.
Yeah, some of the song titles are absolutely amazing. I'm just gonna read a couple out now. So what we've got, I just loved the song "The Mutilator." I thought that was absolutely amazing. "The Bastards Have Landed" is a great song.
Yeah.
I have a training playlist, and every single song, other than the first one, which is just a little intro with just noises, every single one ended up on my training playlist. So I'm definitely going to be after some PBs with that one.
Yeah, it will definitely make you work anyway, that one. So
yeah,
yeah, you want they've posted up lyric videos for some of them on YouTube as well, and honestly, some of the lyrics are absolutely hilarious. It's brilliant. There's like one that keeps shouting "mother" and it says, "Give me that tit to chew."
Amazing. Okay, I should get that on. I should get that on a Baby Grow for our.
Yeah. It's just proper amusing. So
yeah,
but
I absolutely loved that album. So I'd highly recommend Ferox by Make Them Die Slowly. And then and a word that I struggle to say is Sojourner. Hopefully I've not butchered that too much. What did you think to that album, and how did you discover that?
Well, it kind of turned up on my Spotify recommended listens. So I thought I'll go and check it out. And it just sounds epic. It's just that epic atmospheric black metal.
Yeah.
They're from New Zealand as well, so it's not really a known hotbed for atmospheric black metal at all.
No.
Which kind of threw me off because it's still got very much that Swedish and Scandinavian sound to it. So, and strangely enough, I think looking at some of their history, it comes. I think some of them live in Malmo as well, so that's probably why we've still got that Scandinavian sound on it. But again, they use clean vocals as well from a female on there. One of the band members, Chloe Bray, I think her name is, and just adds an extra dimension to it, and it's got some great melodies and hooks in it as well.
Yeah, I really enjoyed her contrast with the. I thought the male growling was fantastic as well.
Yeah.
It really added a great atmosphere, and I thought it was really well produced. The only thing I found a little bit jarring was the guitar tone. On occasions, like it became a little bit. I felt it distracted from the songs a little bit at certain points. Hopefully I'll put in an audio clip of what I mean. But most of the time, I really loved it.
Yeah, I haven't picked that up. I mean, I just thoroughly thought it was a well produced, big sounding album that had plenty of contrast throughout all of it, really. So.
Yeah.
Which kept you listening and wanting to go back and listen to it. So definitely there's a few tracks on there that were just so good, like the Event Horizon and the Deluge, and the song Talas, which is really, really mellow, but
until the end, and then it hits, and it was so emotional at the end.
And that's the one with predominantly Chloe's vocals on it, and they're just stunning on it.
Yeah, and then it reaches like this crescendo at the end, and it just becomes brutal. And that didn't make it onto my training playlist because of the mellow bit at the start, but definitely made it onto about 4 other playlists just because of how that last third of that, or the last quarter of that song, it just transforms into this completely other thing. And I really, really enjoyed that one.
It's massive.
Yeah, like I can imagine that sounding amazing in quite a large festival tent. I think that would be amazing, like at the end of the night. But everything's dark and everything needs that atmosphere. I think that would be amazing. Yeah.
No, I think it is a proper good album. Definitely, if you're a fan of something like Sayor or Summoning or Fellwarden, any of those types of bands which have those expansive, big, long songs, but keep you interested all throughout. You know, they're not long songs that drag on. They're long songs that keep you engrossed throughout the whole thing. Then you'll certainly love Sojourner, without a doubt.
Yeah, I love that. So I think it's an album that you really need to sit down and let it wash over you. Let it just. It's not one where I don't think it's one where you can just play it in the background and headbang. It's a really big event. I think it's something that, much like Winter Sun, you need to sit down and listen to that a few times to get everything from it, and I definitely need to do that.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely an immersive album. You do want to sit down and let yourself disappear into the soundscapes they're creating.
Yeah, definitely. It's not one of those. It's where you can just stick it on at any point either. I'd like to listen to that just in the album in its entirety, just to get the full experience. So
Yeah.
another band that I really want to talk about again is Winterfylleth. Am I saying that one correct?
Yeah, you're saying it as correctly as you can. Yeah.
Yeah, and their latest album, The Reckoning Dawn. I thought that was. I listened to all of that yesterday, and just absolutely incredible.
Yeah. They're a great band. They've been around for a fair few years now.
Yeah, I know you wear their T-shirt quite a lot in the gym.
yeah. And yeah, this new album of theirs again. They've kind of expanded their sound. It sounds a little bit bigger than their earlier ones. I mean, I've been a fan of them for a long time and seen them numerous times live. But their sound's always been. This isn't a derogatory way because it's kind of what they've been, a little bit thin sounding at times.
Yeah.
But this time I don't know what they've done. They've cranked it up somewhere and it just sounds much fuller. And some of the sort of like male choral chants that they do now as well, they just sounded so much better on this than they've sounded before. Not that they were bad before, they just something about the whole production of this just makes it sound a little bit thicker, a little bit fuller. They've still got some of that sort of like waspy guitar bit that a lot of black metal bands use. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a really good album. Yeah, I do need to spend some more time on it though.
I think my
favorite, because the other three have been playing on me all week, so
yeah,
it's kind of come on and off at times. So I need to spend a bit more time with it.
My favourite song on that album is definitely "Absolved" by Fire. There's just so many twists and turns in that song, so many amazing riffs, and the vocals are fantastic all the way through. I know the previous album was a live album from Bloodstock, so I'd love to see those guys live just from hearing those two albums. And I only discovered this band yesterday, and I know that I'm going to be a fan for a long time. Can you remember how you originally discovered them?
Probably from Terrorizing magazine, and it's probably something through there.
Yeah,
more than likely.
Yeah.
And then I would have then checked them out online or something and found something. It was that long ago. I can't remember.
But I mean, they've clearly stood the test of time. If you're still following them now and still wearing them.
Yeah, definitely. They're a really good band. Like I say, I've seen them. I've seen them both at festival and in small venues. I've seen them at, where was the place? It was in London. They hold Slime Light nightclub there. And they were supporting Code, which is another great band, and that was a really good night as well. So yeah, seen them a few times in a few different places. So yeah, just great band, great all-round live band.
Yeah,
proper tight live as well.
Nice. Definitely check those out. So the album that I didn't get to check out since you sent that over was the latest Burial album. Do you want to say a few words about that?
Yeah. It's they're on Apocalyptic Witchcraft. They're from Manchester. They've been around a little while, not too long. I think this is their second full album. Just good quality black and death metal, really, from the UK, which seems to be a pretty good hotspot for at the moment for decent sort of like black metal at the moment, the UK.
Yeah.
So just an all-round solid album. You know, there's not a bad track on there. Again, because I've been listening to 3 other albums most of this week, that one hasn't stood out too much in it, because the other 3 albums that I've been listening to are just such high quality that it's just struggled to get into my head, really. But yeah, it's just a really good release.
Nice.
And well worth checking out if you like sort of like
nice
satanic death metal.
Amazing. And then there's another album that you've been listening to by the Alkymist called Sanctuary. Do you want to say a few words about that, Shrubs?
Yeah. This is definitely a band that will fill that gap if you like Triptykon. I think they're big fans of Triptykon. It's certainly come across to me in that manner, especially tracks like Desolated Sky and The Dead.
Yeah.
They're just full on. It's just that doomy, really heavy riffs, slightly blackened vocals, but yeah, just something about it just triggered my my love of Triptykon, and I'm a big fan of Triptykon and can't wait for a new album. Which, strange enough, they just released on Friday a live recording from Roadburn, which I briefly listened to, but haven't spent any time on it properly. It was some sort of like collaboration thing they did, but I need to do a bit more listening to that one and have a look into that. But yeah, if you want to fill your void of Triptykon and that type of doom metal, then you wouldn't go far wrong by checking out Alkymist.
Yeah, and then last week Vader released a new album as well. Have you had any time to listen to that one?
I've listened to bits of it. It's Vader. Yeah, I don't know what more. Again, I've listened to bits of it, and yeah, it sounds like Vader. It's got Vader's production, Vader's guitar tone.
Definitely.
It's just another Vader album, really.
Yeah.
But it does sound good. The few bits that I did spend time listening to, they sounded good.
Yeah.
So again, I will go back to that one because again, I've been a fan of Vader since the first album. I mean, I bought the first album just almost on a whim. It was where I used to live in Abingdon near Oxford. We had a great little music shop that used to sell instruments mostly, and upstairs they had like CDs and vinyl and stuff that you could buy. And there was a young lad that used to work behind there, and he used to recommend stuff to me. Now, this young lad then went on to be one of the main promoters for Download and Sphere. In fact, he was the one that arranges all the bands.
Oh, wow.
So for Kilimanjaro. So, but yeah, his name was Alan, and he used to recommend stuff to me. So, but I think this one I actually just picked out, and used to be able to listen to them before you purchased them. So I listened to it, and it just blew me away, the first album. And ever since then, I've been a fan of Vader. And again, seeing them, nice. I don't even know how many times I've seen Vader.
I've not seen Vader yet. I'd really like to see Vader. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, they're absolutely rock solid. I mean, they've got years and years and years of experience of touring. So, they're a well-polished unit when they perform live. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. As you'd expect from a band that's been going for probably 20 years now or something, even more than that, 25 years, something like that. So yeah, rock solid band from Poland. Yeah, just absolutely reliable.
All right. Now, with this stuff that's going on at the moment with lockdown, a lot of bands are doing some amazing live streams. I don't know if you've got any recommendations for anyone checking out those that you've seen over the last couple of weeks. I know that you sent me an Enslaved one, which was amazing. I don't know if that's still.
It was. I don't think that one's available anymore to see. I think they left it up for about a week, and then it was taken down.
Yeah,
because it was part of some festival of music that this organisation was putting on through YouTube. So I think it stayed up for about 7 days. Yeah, that was really, really good. Caught one on what night? Friday night. Now I'm trying to remember what day of the week we're on. When I saw it, Oranssi Pazuzu performed their latest album and streamed it live.
Yeah,
and well, that's fantastic. It's up there as one of my albums of the year. That Oranssi Pazuzu already. Don't ask me to say the name of the album because it's in Icelandic, so. It's not going to be the easiest thing for me to say, and I haven't got it to hand what it's called. But yeah, that's that that stream is still available now because they took it down after the stream finished.
Yeah.
And then they left it, I think, around 24 hours and then reposted it up. So it went up yesterday.
I just went on to YouTube now, and the Enslaved one is still available, so that's good.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
that's.
I think
that's
someone else might have posted it up, which might be naughty, but
yeah.
It's still there. Well, it was posted a month ago, so the.
Oh no, that would be
really
about right then. So they might have left it back up there then. So
so I'd highly recommend anyone check out that. It's great.
Yeah, definitely, because the sound quality on that is magnificent as well.
Yeah.
I mean, properly good. And the same with the Oranssi Pazuzu. I've seen some live stream stuff recently, and the sound quality's been a bit mixed, a bit hit and miss.
Yeah.
But with those two bands, the sound is absolutely bang on.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, the Enslaved one's definitely worth a check out. Again, another band I've been a fan of for quite a while, and they're always good live.
Big fans of Blackadder as well, aren't they?
They're massive fans of Blackadder. Yeah. They usually put a few quotes in from Blackadder, especially when they play in the UK, because obviously Blackadder is a very UK thing, and they kind of get the humour, whereas I suppose anywhere else they might not get what's going on so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend anyone check out those. Now, we've talked about a few new releases. Well, it's been all new releases, and we've delved into that a little bit. But if you were to give one album for people to check out that is a classic metal album, I just want you to give one recommendation for this week, and then we'll finish with this every single week.
Oh,
I've got
probably,
one.
This is good. Yeah, this put me on the spot a bit. Probably, definitely go and check out. I would say Metallica, and probably either. And I'm gonna have to give two for this one because I think both in combination are absolutely cracking and good starts to get into the slightly heavier side of heavy metal, and that would be Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets.
Amazing. Because
on both those albums, there's some absolutely stonking songs on both of them. And if I could merge the stonking songs from both albums, it would be, it'd be just probably the most immaculate ever. I mean, because you've got Fade to Black on Ride the Lightning, and then you've got the song Master of Puppets on Master of Puppets. And
there you go. Okay, I'll allow you to have two recommendations there and push them into one. And my recommendation will be At the Gates, Slaughter of the Soul.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. The album that got me into like extreme metal, so I'll always have a soft spot for that. That was the first album of that genre that really got me into that. So yeah, definitely. And then definitely check out their other work. I mean, it's At the Gates have such a good back catalogue. That's definitely not their only amazing album. So definitely check out their other.
No, definitely check out With Fear I Kiss the Burning Darkness, which is the album two before that. But, well, it is the album before it, because an interim they had. It's gone out of my head now. I can see the cover, but. And then The Red in the Sky is Ours as well, which is their first full album.
Yeah.
There's a terrible violin on that album as well, which is hilarious because it's so out of tune, but it was done on purpose. And weirdly, it fits so well, even though it's so out of tune. It's so,
all right.
So bad. It's great.
Okay, so everyone's going to check out those. Everyone's to listen to list has just at least tripled in size. So join us again next week, guys, and we will be giving you some more metal recommendations. So Shrubs, thank you so much for joining me.
No problem.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.